You're the judge.
Hello, and welcome to the Informal Podcast. My name is Shane, and I'm glad that you could join us today. Today I'm here with my co-host Chase. Chase, how are you
You
doing?
sound like a serial killer, just like you did in the first take.
Yeah, because we had to do another take of this, but it screwed up. But stay tuned to the end of this episode because you will be able to hear what's his name from Family Guy?
Joe Swanson.
Joe Swanson. Except it's not Joe Swanson, it's Chase. So Chase, how you doing? What's up?
I'm just so annoyed at the fact that we spent 20 minutes talking about the exact same thing we're going to be talking about, and it's not even going to be put out except for the part where I was saying, "Hey, Peter." And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now, as I said previously in the other thing when no one heard it, me and Chase here, you might notice that Chase's mic still sounds kind of weird. But how is that possible? You got two microphones for a Chase, and yourself. That's what you're thinking. I know.
Oh my God, I can't hold in. There's so much suspense. Shane
it.
got sick. I can't come over anymore, guys.
Yeah, he's not over, but he will be over next week to make a podcast. And also, speaking of next week, there's going to, if you saw on our Instagram, which no one follows our Instagram really, so if you want to follow us at the Informal Podcast on Instagram, but we are going to be taking a week break from the podcast. So by the time when episode 7 comes out, which is hopefully going to be the one with me and Chase in real life, that'll be out next week. So 1 week from today. So yeah, it's kind of it sucks that you weren't able to come over because like we were playing this for a couple days, but I feel like it gives us some time to. I feel like it was rushed, like for you coming over, like we were just rushing things around. So I feel like now we can actually like sit back and relax and just casually do stuff. And also doing the podcast in 1 week will give us some time to think about what we want to do for the podcast next. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited for next week. I think a week is a lot of room for opportunities. Again, if you want to check out our Instagram, we are needing suggestions for what we should talk about for your future podcast. So please DM us. Check us out.
Wait, what?
What's new with you other than being sick? I think.
Oh God. God, what's new with me? You know, nothing much. I wish my life was as interesting as other people's, but like it's just normal, honestly. I guess I could talk about last night, which isn't too interesting, but I went to Outback Steakhouse and like shopping and stuff, and I felt so sick last night that it was like I felt so full I didn't want to eat, but I got this pasta and I only ate like 2 bites of it. It was like, I wish I was more hungry because it was pasta with steak in it and chicken, in it, okay, and it was spicy. It was good, not good enough for me to eat, sadly. So yeah, no, my whole body did not want me to feel good at all yesterday. I was just so glad when I got home because I could lay down and just rest. But I got the worst sleep I've ever gotten in my life last night.
Oh yeah, what was that, Shane? What was going on with you?
I don't think I've gotten worse sleep because I kept waking up. I remember the time so vividly. It was 4:35 in the so it took me. I went to sleep last night around 10:30, and it took me like 2 hours to get to sleep. So 12 o'clock, I got to probably about 4 in the morning, but I woke up like twice in a row, like 2 times during that period. So probably like say about 2 hours of sleep because I had to try to get myself back to sleep. And then when 4:35 rolled around, that was just when everything started to take a turn for the worst. I kept having the same dream, which is the worst feeling in the world to keep having the same dream. Because like at that point, I was just sitting up in bed thinking, I don't want to go to sleep because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to have this dream, which is of Japanese businessmen eating steak.
That
Which,
sounds so boring.
yeah.
I wish you
seriously
could
think I
talk
wanted
about
to.
it more without me interrupting your horrific story. So let's move on to another topic.
Yeah.
So besides the excruciating pain of you having the exact same dream, how was it telling me that I couldn't come over, Shane? Like, how
Uh,
are you feeling?
honestly, I was kind of scared of you. I
That's
told Chase.
perfect.
I told Chase this morning that he wasn't able to come over because I got sick, and Chase started messaging me back saying like uh some this stuff. He was being a meanie, but
Bro, I
he
thought you
was
were kidding, bro.
yeah, I
You
know. No,
literally
you said
have.
all this mean stuff, and then you said you're joking, right? And then I messaged you back like three things saying like, no, I'm sorry, like I got sick. It's out of my control. Like I wish I wasn't sick. If I knew this would happen 2 days ago, like I would have said don't like come over or whatever. And I kept looking at my computer. I kept I was like listening to music, and watching YouTube. So I was watching you, or no, I wasn't listening to music. Watching YouTube. That's the weirdest thing. Watching YouTube, and I just kept looking back every single like 10 seconds to see if you saw the message. And then I saw it said seen, and my heart just dropped. You didn't even send a message. I just got scared that you saw it.
I was
I'm
in
like,
school.
well, yeah, but I was worried that you were gonna say something like else. But then I said, hey, you just want to come over next Friday, and you're like, yeah, of course. So I'm like, wow, we're good. That's great. But yeah, no, you were not happy, and I wasn't happy either. But
That's just
it was
how the
out of my
cookie crumbles.
control.
No, I'm sure.
I I can't believe that we're already on our sixth episode. Like it, I know we do this every like 3 days and like maybe take 4 day like time period breaks, but like we're not like a traditional podcast, which is weekly, which I feel like after we have these first episodes, we might have to go weekly because there's just not much to talk about in a whole like 3 days, you know? So I
Yeah.
think that I think that we should oh, Walter. Yeah, I'm kind of tired. Um, I think that we are going to start doing weekly. I think mid-April, maybe.
Yeah, probably. There
That
won't be
that's
too
just
much.
that sounds the
Um,
best. But since we're already on episode 6, I wanted to try to figure out. Me and Chase have been trying to figure out ways on how to get our podcasts out there, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain to someone this podcast who doesn't already know about it if they're not like friends or family. And yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing to like saying like you say that you have this podcast and then like they listen to an episode of it and it's just I just feel like people will get turned away from it, like most people. Even though like people have told me that it sounds interesting, I don't think most people would enjoy it. But I feel like we can, if we try the best we can to do it, we can most likely get viewers. But if I can't figure out, me and Chase are trying to figure out ways to get ourselves out there. So if anyone has any suggestions, DM us on the Informal Podcast. Um, and also, as Chase said earlier, if you have any topics we should talk about, also DM us on the Informal Podcast Instagram because it means a lot. Trust me. I wanted to talk about something I haven't really thought about in a whole while, because a while. Bleh. I want to talk about something that I haven't talked about in a while, and it's about my old friend group. Like, it's the friend group before my last friend group that I was in. And have I told you a lot about them, Chase?
No, you said there was Martinez, I think.
No, no. Before Waffles.
You said there was girl,
No girls in it.
a guy.
Multiple guys.
Huh.
Yeah. No.
Well, go ahead.
I used to have this friend group. And it was when I was really, really into Geometry Dash. Like, I was starting, like, I was probably a year into it, and I was just trying to, like, grow my levels and trying to beat everything on there. And I was talking to some people on Discord, and I found these guys, and we all got, like, these. I was in a group chat with these guys. I didn't know them, and we were just having so much fun talking. And we're all like, you know what? Let's make a Discord. And our Discord, like, was instantly named the lowest point of humanity. And we talked so much to the point where our chat one day had over 5,000 messages sent in it in just one day. And it was literally, like, the whole thing was just 12 people or so just in the group chat. And I wish that the friend group lasted longer, or if it was still active, but I think after a while people just, like, kind of started to disperse from it, and like, people went on to just, like, stop talking or just went on to do their own things because they just didn't want to do Discord or just talk on Discord anymore. That's completely fine. People do other things, but I feel like just those. I think it was like a year and a half or almost 2 years I was talking to the guys, and I feel like it's probably one of the best friend groups I ever had. Probably even better than you, Chase. I'm kidding.
Good one, Brett.
Yeah.
Good one, Brett.
But yeah. So I wish that maybe I could talk to them still, but they're all basically gone now.
Yeah, they're probably, they have, like, corona or whatever.
Yeah, they probably have corona.
Don't they all live in Cali?
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Actually, don't know anyone who lives in Cali. Actually, no, I know one person. Her name is Maya.
My family lives there.
So.
Oh, Maya. Oh my God.
We're not getting into the story because I hate I think the story is hilarious, but I don't want to say it. All right.
Say it a separate episode.
Yeah, we'll make an episode.
We have to find someone else with a lot of relationships. Oh my God. Foreshadowing. Matthew's episode.
Oh my God. Okay, when are we doing Matthew's episode?
I don't know, but I know what it's gonna be about already. I've already started. Let's go.
Awesome. I swear to God, half of Matthew's episode is gonna have to be cut out.
Yeah, because he's gonna talk about the deets, bruh.
I don't like the deets. But jeez, I wish we had a lot to talk about, honestly. That's why
well, it's not like we have jobs or, like, the only interesting thing we're doing right now is what you're doing, which is little to nothing.
Yeah.
And me, who's doing what every other teenager does. We just go to the gym, play sports, play video games, and then, like, the only other thing that makes us apart from the rest is this podcast.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're homeschooled, but, like, that's not even important. Really.
Oh, I wanted to say something really quick.
Oh, yeah?
There is something kind of exciting happening, at least for us, I think, or not for us. I think more for me. I mean, you could be excited for it. I feel right. So basically, right now, when the next time you come over, every single time that we've made an ad on the podcast, it's always like been when you replace an ad on our podcasting service, Anchor, you replace the ad that you replace all ads on the video with this one ad. So every single podcast ad right now is the episode with Max. We did an ad with him, or I did an ad with him, and every single episode has that. So I can't fix that. So what we're going to do is the next time you come over, we're making an ad that is going to be on the podcast for ever, basically, until we like make a new ad. So the next ad that you hear, not this ad, but the next ad,
most sarcastic, generic ad you've ever heard, and I think that you guys will come to love it.
Because if you don't, like, oh well, sucks to suck. But we're going to make it. We're actually going to be making, or I'm going to be making the last ad to be heard before that ad, after this podcast. But if you don't hear this, if you don't hear that ad, and if you hear the ad with me and Chase at the mics, then you've missed it. You missed all of the ads before. So I feel like I think it's kind of funny how people, maybe this podcast blows up one day and people will be like, yeah, no, I was here when they were still making like lots of ads, like an ad every single episode.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. It's like saying your favorite artist of on like music, like you were there since their like first song or whatever. But that does remind me, we do have to put out a little bit of time for this ad, so we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Hey, it's Shane from the Informal Podcast, and I'm here with my co-host Chase. What's up?
Hey guys, it's me, Chase. We're here to talk about our sponsor, Anchor.
What's Anchor?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, random person. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's completely free, and there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So, if you want to start a podcast now, make sure to download the free Anchor app on your phone or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.fm to get started. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
I gotta use Anchor.
Bye.
Chase, I wanted to ask you a question while we were gone. I think it could be good to ask this. Because it's kind of like a baseline question, but it could be fun. What's your favorite, like, TV show or movie?
No joke.
No joke.
Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Recreation is pretty good.
One of the best. I already know what you're going to say. The Good Place?
What? No.
Or are you kidding me?
Good Place is in my top 10.
Dude, this girl in my class is like, I watched The Good Place, and I was like, yeah, my friend won't stop talking about it. So it's the best show I've ever watched. And she's like, you should watch it. It's so good. And I'm like,
it is a pretty good show.
Yeah. Okay. Continue. What's your favorite?
I feel like I got so much. Like there's American Vandal, Haunting of Hill House. I don't know if I can say Stranger Things because it's just gotten so bad. Or it's not gotten so bad, but it's just gotten worse than the first season. But Haunting of Hill House, Good Place, Parks and Recreation. I feel like though the one that takes it all is Haunting of Hill House. It's just it's just like it came out. This October it'll be 2 years since it came out, but they're making the second season, Haunting of Bly Manor.
You know, but that would be my favorite. But I think the fact that you can rewatch Parks and Recreation so many times and see an episode that you're like, oh my god, I swear I've never seen this, but you've probably seen it like 10 other times.
Yeah.
and just be amazed by it. But like whenever you watch Haunting of Hill House, it just sticks. You'll never
I
forget most details of it because they're all important to what
I
happens. at the end.
rewatched Haunting of Hill House 3 times.
Yeah, I know, but you were forced to by your sister.
No, I wasn't
your-
forced to. They said you want to they said, "Oh, you want to rewatch Haunting, or do you want to watch?" Yeah, they never Lizzie and It never watched Haunting of Hill House before, and they're like, "Oh, you want to watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll rewatch it again."
Oh
So
my gosh.
we watched the
Anyway,
entire thing. I watched it again,
you know.
and I rewatched.
Yeah, well, you're you, okay,
everything.
and also you're weird. I don't
Chase,
have enough time.
favorite
What?
album?
Favorite album? Are you friggin' joking?
No.
Dude. Oh my gosh, that's actually really hard. 'Cause I don't like. You know what? Now I'm gonna look. Okay, just cut
Here.
the
You
part
want me to
out
say-
that it takes me to
No,
look.
here, I'll just say
No,
mine.
you don't have to. You don't have to. You're good. Yeah, just say yours. I'll look at some
I
albums.
think
then.
favorite album or here, I'll just start off with favorite band. Favorite band probably have to
favorite
be
band.
Half Alive. Half Alive is just really good. And then favorite song, God, would have to be The Less I Know the Better by Tame Impala. Such a great song. Such a great song. And then favorite album for me would have to be Currents by Tame Impala. It's just that's an album that I listen to. You can listen to so many times, and you just you can't get bored because all the sounds in it are just so amazing. I've never gotten bored of that album. And I still listen.
So, favorite album, favorite song, favorite band or artist?
Yeah.
Favorite artist, probably The Baby. I'm kidding, bro. My favorite artist will definitely have to be Joji because he is amazing.
Joji is really.
I would give favorite album to Joji as well, but also I really like. Hold up. No kid.
What would you give the favorite album
Okay.
to?
So it's one of Machine Gun Kelly's. It is friggin' Hotel Diablo.
I've never
Hotel
listened.
Diablo. It's so good.
Kelly.
It has like most of my favorite songs by him are in that album. And my favorite song is Illusion. A Day in Paris or Day in Paris. Yeah.
I know an album you haven't listened to fully that I still
Probably
say that you
haven't.
should listen to.
Is it by Half Alive?
Yeah, it's Now Not Yet.
I'm not listening to the full album.
Why not?
Because you pushed it onto me.
Well, it's been how many months now?
That doesn't mean you still
It's been
haven't
6
pushed
months.
it onto me.
You should listen to it soon.
Bro, there's like a really good song that I can play right now, and I'm sure you would enjoy it.
I don't think we should play it because of copyright issues.
Oh yeah. I'll play it once we're done with the podcast.
Yeah.
It is ready on Spotify. I'm stoked.
Yeah, but something that's really exciting for the podcast is I don't know if I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but now you can listen to us on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and much more right now. It's crazy. We just recently got approved onto iTunes and Google Play or Google Podcast. So that's exciting for us. We can now branch our podcast onto different sites. And I think I was more excited about iTunes for anything because I feel like iTunes is just a big platform that we'll be able to just advertise on. So I'm glad for that. Yeah. Tris, is there anything you want to talk about?
Genuinely, no.
Yeah.
But you think we're gonna wrap it up with this? You think?
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. Hey, this wasn't the most eventful episode.
It wasn't
Uh,
meant to be though, as well. It was supposed to be more of I don't know, just us telling you what's going on before a week of us not uploading.
Yeah, but we promised. We promised. We promised
Yeah, we
the
did.
next. Yeah, no, but here we promised the next two podcasts will be like our best podcast yet. Hopefully, like I don't know how we'll be able to top episode 4 right now.
Yeah,
Episode
think
4 was
that-
really good.
yeah, I enjoyed that one the most just because of how like smooth it came off. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm so excited for next Friday. I'm sure there'll be so much more new things to talk about. I'm sure it will have a lot of things to talk about. So, you know, it might even be a long one as well.
Maybe like when we record it, like 2 2-hour or 2 1-hour podcasts. That could be interesting. But we gotta find ways to, like if we keep going on with the once we hit weekly, we have to like each episode has to be at least like 45 minutes or so, because like I don't want to like wait a week and just put out like a 25-minute episode. It's just we get like I hope we can pack so much into one episode each time and just give the viewers the best we could give to our ability. So
I'm super excited to see how next week turns out. I hope you guys are too. I think that it was a wonderful episode, even though it wasn't too long. We didn't talk about that much. We basically stuttered the entire time. But
yes,
you know,
but
it was still good.
Thank you for everyone listening to the podcast, and yeah, I think we'll leave it off with like thank you like with these just sorry. I think we'll just leave it off here by saying download Anchor for if you are recording a podcast or wanting to bring your podcast out there. Anchor has tremendously helped us through our what we want to do with podcasts. So I think that everyone should use Anchor, honestly. But thank you, Chase. Thank you to also Chase for not swearing as much this episode, because this isn't going to be a long episode to edit out.
Thank you, Shane, for I don't know, something.
Yeah, I guess. All right, well, I guess we'll leave you guys off here with some takes of Chase saying, "Hey, Peter."
Hey, Peter.
All right. Well, see you next week.
Bye. Yeah, she is gone. He is gone. Oh wait. Yeah, the judge. Oh no. Yeah, the judge. Oh no. You're the judge. Oh no. You're the judge. Oh no. You're the judge. Hey, Peter. You're the judge. Hey, Peter. Lois says bad. Jesus, man. Spot on.